on, gangsta. Diamond hands. Go on. Come on. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry I couldn't make it to the podcast. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for coming.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to episode 8 of El Gallinero. Assistant coach Janos Fazekas here with head gaffer Ben Clarvis. Our sporting director,
Finally gets it right.
Gilberto Mendoza.
After 8
Sporting
episodes.
director. Yeah,
It's all
right. It's part of it.
All trades.
Anyways, we've got our ghost guest in the back, or as we like to call him, the Sheik. He likes to be called the Sheik. And special guest today. He's a pretty special guy to me. You know, he brought me into this world somewhat. Introduced soccer to my lifestyle, professional back in the day. Mr. Tommy Fazekas. So let's get this stuff going, all right?
Oh yeah, my bad. So let's get it rolling. So today it's a very special day. We have Janos' dad over here, but he's a legend when it comes to soccer. He went to the Olympics. Did you go to the Olympics?
No, I played against the Olympic team.
Oh, okay, he played against the Olympics.
I wanted to go to the Olympics.
Okay.
What's the
But anyways,
background?
can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let's see what's.
My name is Tommy Fazekas, Catfish, Jimmy Elder. One of the very important soccer person in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We met in 1979, and he just started calling me Catfish, and it's stuck ever since.
Oh, wow.
I've been Irving soccer since 1973. My dad still plays soccer. He's 80 years old.
Damn. Wow, that's crazy.
Indoor soccer. Soccer's my passion. I got a lot of opinions.
So let's talk a little about. So when did you start playing professionally?
Oh my God, that's the worst picture. You watch those pictures, though, everybody looks like crap. We got to have 50-mile-an-hour wind in our face.
Back in the 30s, right there.
That was 1983.
Oh, 83, my bad.
I signed an amateur contract in 1983. In 1984, the Olympics were in L.A. That was my goal, was to make an Olympic team. Reason I signed an amateur contract, we were playing 2 exhibition games in '83 against the Olympic preparatory team, they called it back then. John Hedlund played for them, Tab Ramos, a few other, Tony Miola, long time ago. Anyhow, so that was key to me getting on the Olympic team. And I scored in 2 games. I scored 2 goals and had an assist, and I never got a call from the Olympic.
Oh wow!
I would have got a hat trick in the one game if it wasn't for Hedlund.
Was it indoor professional or out?
That was outdoor. It was outdoor.
You said it was political. Is that what you said? Is it political? Is that why you didn't get the call?
It's political. But it's always going to be. Even now it is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I bet you right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, with the talent that's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you could assemble 20, 25 players and train them with the right mindset and the right coach, and they could spank the national team that's right here. That's
absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's not always the best players, but that's just the way it is. Yeah. Anyhow,
so how'd you get into soccer, or was it always
my dad's a Hungarian. I don't know. Minnesota. I was about 5 years old, and I got 2 older brothers, so I always had to play with the older guys. And back then, I just ran my ass off, and I knew how to kick a ball, both feet. I'm pretty even on both feet, and I think maybe a reason being is I broke one of my right leg when I was like 5 years old, playing soccer, kicking against my older brother. We kicked, and it just snapped. So. I don't know. Like juggling, I start with my left foot, my right foot. Penalty kicks, it don't matter. Yeah. They're pretty even. But
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I must say.
Well, so. I don't know about your left foot. But anyhow,
then you moved down to Texas, or when you
moved down to Texas, Houston area first, and my dad transferred with the job. He got into computer technology and stuff back then. One of the first people, and took a job down in Texas here, and Houston first, while my dad was going through the process of the engineering process, and then we got to Irving, Texas. That's where his company was based in Irving, and.
Did you, what time, so you started playing pro whenever you were, what, 18?
No, I was, well actually, I was 20, just turned 20. I played a couple years college soccer.
Where'd you go to college?
Midwestern.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Stangs.
Well, before that, though, too, I mean, speaking of Irving FC, he played at Irving High School. He's an Irving Tiger, you know.
Oh, wow.
Still got the Letterman jacket.
MacArthur High School back in the day.
There was no Nimitz back then, right? Or
there was a Nimitz,
oh,
but they were the. That's where you got your stats up.
What do you see? The biggest difference is
if you're worried about that.
Physical wise, it's a different, like the physicality on the game. Cause like I'll like put it on like the NBA stats, right? If you watch the NBA back in the days, you know, it used to be real physical. Now, you know, it's a foul. You know, you just touch me and it's a foul. Is that the same thing on soccer? Like back in the day, more physical. And now, because now like you see everybody crying over you touch my ear and I'm going to the ground. I mean, on the professional level, right?
Yeah.
How was it back in the day?
Oh no, you.
No blood, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot physical, but the referees let it go too. You know, and a lot of the referees back then were from the referees that came over from England and Germany and stuff. Like a lot of the referees, they were used to watching the physicality of the game over in Europe and stuff. No, let it go. I remember guys sharpening. Well, we had those studs back there. I mean, that sharpening.
Sharpening.
See, we did. Yeah, Lewis Masters. I got to sharpen my studs.
Damn.
Metal studs. They would sharpen.
No, they had the hard plastic, but underneath it was the stud.
Yeah.
They wanted the studs, you know. But anyhow, we didn't wear shin guards back then. I never wore shin guards.
Oh wow, that's raw.
I never. We didn't. They didn't make shin guards a law until like late '80s, '90s, right around there. I never wore shin guards. Didn't even think about it. But you know what? Some guys, if you look at it now, those shin guards ain't gonna do shit anyhow.
If you want to break somebody's leg, you're gonna break somebody's leg.
I think it is what it is. Maybe.
How was it back in the day when it came to like because there was no MLS back then, right? Or there was, but it was nowhere where it was at now. Or there wasn't an MLS?
Well, no, there was an NASL, North American Soccer League. Yeah, that was pretty strong for a while. I'd say from about 73 to about 80, it was pretty strong.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Dallas Tornado played at Ownby Stadium at SMU. That's where they played. Perfect venue for soccer. It was 23, 25,000, all perfect. But I never, for every year they played there, I never paid for a ticket to get into the place. They just to promote it, they used to just hand out. But they made their money off the vending and selling beer and all that kind of, just to get the people in. But I never paid for a ticket. I always had free tickets.
Was it always sold out there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
almost all the Dallas Tornadoes were always sold out. Back in Kenny Cooper and Kenny Cooper, well his son played for the FC Dallas.
That is such a huge. That's a huge.
I mean, I seen Johan Cruyff play at Ownby Stadium.
That's crazy.
That's a huge decision for a club though. If you're gonna ask for, if you're gonna charge the door or not, right? You don't want to charge the door so you can get more people in, and you're thinking, okay, well, I just charge the sponsors. But whenever you start thinking, okay, just $5, I could make so much more revenue just by charging just simple $5. But I'm a big believer on a free entrance, right? But
well, you know what it was is matter of fact, Robert Power was the mayor of Irving back in the 70s. He just died a few years ago. Robert Power. He was also the president of the Dallas Tornado at the time. Okay, so he was a marketing guy, but he was also a lawyer. But every youth soccer group, Irving Soccer Association, Grand Prairie, the Dallas Tornado will give them 1,000 tickets for the kids, all the players. So the kids, but the parents had to buy theirs, right?
Yeah,
that's how they made their money.
Heck yeah,
makes sense. But no, it's. Nowadays, we need something closer. Frisco's too far away.
I agree.
If I would have won that lottery, the $1 billion one, I'd have my own. I make a stadium and everything.
Yeah.
Just
But
like
I
FC
but I
Dallas.
think
But over here,
the biggest problem on doing that, now that we're getting involved with the academy and and PSL and all this, is people just don't like to spend money. And the Frisco area, let's be real. The Frisco area, their income level is higher, so they don't mind spending $20, $25 on a ticket. You go to the game and you spend, hot dogs and beers and all that. It's really hard to get people from this area to pay the $10, to pay the beer, and it happens. I mean, they're not like saying no, but I'm saying it's just a little more difficult. I think they just based that, it was all financial, a purely financial decision to go to Frisco, right? Obviously, because the talent is over here. It's Fort Worth, Irving, Arlington. I mean, who the hell is playing in Frisco? You're driving to Frisco to play.
Yeah, but I mean, the MLS doesn't really care about the talent pool. I mean, the talent's going to come to them wherever it is. They just need to be able to find the place where the marketing's the best and the easiest.
I agree to disagree there, because some players are not going there, even though they're good. Like we've talked to Anthony Pallin and those guys, and they hate driving all the way to Frisco. And sometimes you lose interest in what you're doing. Can you imagine driving an hour and a half to work?
For an MLS team?
Yeah, but he's not in the MLS. He's on.
Yeah, you'll move and you'll be put up.
Different story.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you got to move. You got to get there, right?
Yeah, it used to not be like that though.
Well, you know what? We can agree or disagree on a lot of things, but Clint Dempsey used to do it.
Yeah.
He used to come a couple hours
From Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches, yeah.
But that was his life. He was probably, I don't know if he was homeschooled and stuff and all that kind of stuff, but it's
Dempsey,
yeah,
the goalie.
No,
the goalie.
Clint Dempsey.
Clint Dempsey.
Forward. Remember,
Forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Texas, from Nacogdoches, and he used to come in.
Play for the Texans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Texans, you come from Nacogdoches.
They'll travel.
Like 3 or 4
But
hours every
but
Tuesday.
they'll try if they got the money to travel, or they're being paid to travel, or on scholarship and all that kind of stuff.
Was there a
with
pyramid?
the club.
Back in the day when you were playing, was there a pyramid like this?
No.
It was just the NSL, or what was it?
Well, when I was playing, it was called the ASL, American.
That was
Soccer.
it. That was all we had.
It was more all the leagues were more regional back then, like they're now. They're regional. You had but when I played, we played in Florida, we played in New York, we played in the Carolinas, we played in Detroit, Columbus. We were like, I don't know what region you would call that, but it was like on the coast, going up all the way, Rochester, Buffalo, that type of stuff.
So we got a little bit off topic there.
Okay.
We come back around to this, but let's get back a little bit to your profile. So we came through Irving. Then before you went pro, you obviously played at Midwestern State for a couple of years.
Yeah.
What played into your decision to go to Midwestern? Did you have other offers on the table?
I had a lot. I TCU at the time. I would have had a full ride and everything.
Probably could have played with Coach Barclay, right?
Yeah, my old high school coach.
Coach Barclay.
I don't know about that. But that's when they had Division I NCAA teams would play against NAIA or Division II teams, because not every college has a soccer program. So it was, but after a while, you wouldn't, if NAIA team, that's what Midwestern was when I was, and we'd play against SMU in North Texas and beat them or tie them, or if they didn't beat us, their rankings would go really low. So then they decided they're not going to play us anymore, which makes sense for them.
Yeah.
But well, anyhow, Midwestern. When I was a senior in high school, actually, I had at the time, hindsight's 20/20. I was a senior in high school, and I couldn't see shit. I was blind. I don't know how, and all our games were at night. I don't know how the hell I played. When I first got my contacts was when I was like 19 years old. I would have played college. In college, we played most of our games.
They had contacts back then?
What's that?
They had contacts back then?
Yeah, yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, we get rid of that picture. I got some better ones. The next year was a whole lot.
Throw up the other one.
The next year was a whole lot.
What
What we're talking about?
Well, see, I lose track too.
You interrupted.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
I was 17. Oh no, I was only 16 when I went to college. I was 17, but anyhow, my senior year, I was scoring. I don't know. We played 15 games in a year, and we didn't have a playoff system. It's just your district, whoever won. You know, you didn't have you won district. It went UIL. It was all soccer was like the Spanish club or the Latin club. We had a soccer club, okay, but all the teams, South Grand Prairie, MacArthur, Nimitz, and Arlington teams and stuff like that. And that was it. We played 10. But then we go to tournaments. We had a Midwestern tournament. Howard had a Midwestern tournament. Anyhow, Irving High School. I don't know. I probably scored about 100 and something goals.
Damn.
But we played teams that you play against Nimitz, for instance, to beat them 12-0. I scored 6 goals. That type of stuff. But Midwest, that's like a Midwestern. The top guys, the top 2 guys at Midwestern, top 3 are Alex and Alvin Alexander and Alex
Alkashvili.
But they got like 40 something. But they played teams that didn't. Like Dallas Baptist, they beat them 15-0, stuff like that. That's it. The stats like that. But anyhow, I remember I was at a game out in Moss Park in Dallas. We were playing a club game, and after the game, this guy comes up to me. I said, I recognized the guy somewhat. Anyhow, he said, "What are you doing, man? After the season and stuff, are you a senior and all this kind of thing?" Anyhow, I was the head coach of the Dallas Tornado.
Dang.
And I'm going to Midwestern. I decided, TC or Midwestern. And he said, "You sure you want to do that?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to Midwestern because my brother goes there." And he never heard from him again. But then about a month later, if I would just, I was really shy. I don't know. And about a month later, they signed this guy, Dallas Tornado signed this guy right out of high school from Richardson, David James. And it actually worked out pretty good for him. He never got to play, but just being in that environment and these guys were all ex-professionals from Bayern Munich, Crystal Palace, guys that are finishing their careers that came to the NASL back then.
So would you have changed it? Would you? If you could have, would you have gone to Tornadoes, or would you have kept the same?
I mean, I didn't think about it at the time, and then David Martin comes up, a guy on my team, said, "Tom, you know who that was?" And I says, "Yeah, I kind of reckon." He said, "That was Mike Renshaw. He was a coach of Dallas Tornado." I said, "I didn't know, man. I just finished a freaking soccer game,
So after high school, you go to Northwestern, right?
No, Midwestern.
After high school, then it was either TCU or Midwestern, and TCU was a building program, and I would have had a full ride, but a lot of the stuff was under the table, and the coach was a Hungarian dude too, but all my buddies went to Midwestern. Midwestern was, you could say, Irving team. At one time, I don't know, you didn't see that picture. One time, when I was a freshman, I got a picture of all the Irving guys. I should have brought that picture. I might have it on my phone.
Mom was supposed to send them.
It's in Wichita Falls.
Wichita Falls.
One
MSU.
time they took a picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Fuck sake.
I didn't know.
Come on, man. You went to the fucking
Oh my God.
Seven,
Bullshit names, yeah.
no, seven of the starting 11 were Midwestern. From Irving, MacArthur, Irving.
So whenever we went to the
Randy
game,
Waldrum, Lewis Masters.
whenever we went to the game to play MSU, that must have meant something to you. That was threw you back in time machine.
I played at that. Matter of fact, that's the stadium. The way it's set up is in 1982, Midwestern hosted the Nationals for NAIA, and that's when they built that. Well, the stadium, it was always played there, and the pitch was always there, but you just had wooden bleachers and stuff. They built those bleachers and the press box and everything for that.
So that game Irving v Midwestern State, it's kind of a funny game because it really, like you said, it was all Irving kids that went to Midwestern when you were there, so it's kind of a back in the
majority
day kind of thing, wasn't it?
There were seven starters on the team that were from Irving at that time, and Patterson went to Irving to Howard Patterson was the head coach for 20-something years.
He was the
was a
one
good recruiter.
before Elder, before Doug Elder.
He recruited Doug Elder and Jimmy Elder. Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody, so you're back. You're in college.
So then, I'm in college, and I didn't really give a shit about college. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Well, the thing about it is, I was 17 years old. I didn't turn 18 until I was in college for 3 months, and there was in Wichita Falls, there's not much to do except for drink. After played soccer, you know, and I didn't really get. I went to Midwestern to play soccer. Then I didn't go for a couple years. I was hating Midwestern. I hate being broke too. I always wanted money in my pocket.
Yeah.
My parents don't have a lot of money back then, so then I took a 2-year break and went back to Midwestern in '82 and
That's when you scored all them goals.
yeah. Then
I think we got the stats.
And that was 1982. Oh yeah.
So you were there for a year. You took a 2-year break,
and came back.
and then came back.
And
you were still in the same physical shape to be able to kick ass.
Oh yeah, well, no, in between
Those are
those,
the Milwaukee
between
Wave.
those, the 2 years between
Scented on
the 2 years
Okay.
before that, the 2 years between that, I was playing in the Dallas leagues and stuff, and
Like the Sunday leagues now.
well,
basically.
yeah, but probably same caliber as what your team is right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we practiced a couple times a week, and it was all soccer, you know. And the weekend, we had fun after the games, drinking beer.
So 23
But
goals.
these were all ex-pros and ex-college players. It was a really good league.
Why was everybody inspiring to go play at back in that day, right? Because all the kids now, they obviously want to get to the MLS, right? And all the kids now, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to play on the NPSL during the summer. If you're not good enough, you're obviously going to go to like the other league that owes the team money, and you're going to go to like other Sunday leagues, right?
Yeah.
But you're inspired to go somewhere. So back in the day, because that structure wasn't there yet, what were people inspiring to go play at?
Europe.
Just Europe, period.
Yeah. I had a chance to go, but then I fell in love.
Some mom.
with besides the soccer and I got hurt actually too. I was out for about 4 or 5 months.
How many kids you got?
I got 4.
That's a Fazekas
Three-
thing, isn't
three
it?
guys?
An injury.
No. It was
Just a Noah thing, really.
No, actually, the
Three guys,
it took
three
that
guys,
long
one
for the
girl?
doctors to figure out what the hell was going on.
You got 3 guys, 1 girl?
Yeah, the girl's
Shit.
oldest,
And all the guys play soccer?
and the girl she played
Megan played soccer back
So
then.
who would you say that's the best soccer player out of all your kids?
The best soccer
Ooh, put on the spot. On the spot.
I mean, let's be real. Do it for the podcast.
Well, no, the Charlie probably back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, I'm not a liar.
Hey, fella, he's kicking
No,
us.
but Charlie probably had the best brain.
Marshall was probably the most athletic.
Marshall is probably Marshall could do just about anything.
So Noah's the worst.
No, Noah's a goalie.
No.
Noah's a goalie.
Oh my God!
It's unbelievable.
Noah's kamikaze. I remember when I did put him out in the field.
A bull in a china
I'm
shop.
going because he's running 100 miles an hour, and and sees that ball, and I'm saying it's not. He's gonna break somebody's leg. Boom! And I'm going like this.
Honestly,
Kamikaze.
Noah played before we had brought Noah onto Irving FC. He actually played with me and Gilbert's men's team, and we had 2 goalies, Noah and Jake, and they both loved playing forward, so they'd switch on and off forward, keeper. And Noah scored some absolute bangers. Noah can play on the field, but he is just a bull in a china shop. He'll fucking go through he just sees the ball. He doesn't see anything else.
The Midwestern, the alumni used to play, the old alumni, right? And this was, I guess it was his freshman or the sophomore year, and he's playing on the field, and he hits one for about 35 top quarter.
Noah did.
Yeah, that's why he claims to be the greatest forward of all time.
no, he just.
So now that you told the Charlie's your favorite,
That's what I used to do. No,
Janos.
Charlie probably had it reads the game probably better than the other one, though.
The shot was ridiculous as well. Just
Marshall.
You think he could have gone pro?
Anybody can go pro if you get no butt to kiss, you know.
if I had the right mindset, I think I could have
There's
gone
a
a
lot
lot
of
farther than
butt
I
kissing.
did.
You know, back when I played, couldn't imagine. It was like a fraternity with a lot of these guys, especially if they played in the MISL. You know, with Tattoo and Zunk, the old back in the '80s. But there were some players on that team. You're just wondering how in the hell this, because they were buddy fraternity or they had money. I know there's one guy that every team in Dallas, he was every team, starting from 1976, he's been associated with because he puts money into the team. He'd be on the team.
Wow.
But you wonder, you know, why some of these guys, and it's just, you know people a lot of times, you know, it's just that's the way it is, which you know.
Same in
That's how it goes still
every
to this
walk of
day.
life,
I
really.
mean,
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do the networking and stuff, but there's a lot of people that never get the chance.
Yeah. So after the 2 years you take off, you go back to MSU, you start, you put up some real nasty stats. Then what happened?
Did better.
Then what happened?
No, what happened? Oh, then
What were the stats?
then.
in 2 seasons, he had 24 goals. Imagine what he could have done in the 4 seasons, though.
Well, no, I could have did better.
To me,
that year in '82, I missed about 4.
Oh, you're legit. You're on the MSU website.
That's only 2 years.
I thought we were dealing with
but that's only with 2
we're
years.
joking around.
Vic more leagueways in there.
See, look, that's
Lens up there
this
as
is-
well.
1983, I was telling my dad he's nuts in 1983. Hey!
Hey,
Same.
See that guy right there, Majid?
Biggest scorer in the goals.
Majid, I should have had about 20 assists that season because Majid, he never passed him. Matter of fact, before the season, we were at a bar and the one off right across the street from the university.
Milos.
Toby's.
Starts with a B.
Probably wasn't around these
Probably
days.
around.
Stage.
Irish
Stage West
little one.
Indy.
Irish did one right there around the corner of
I think it's
one of
called,
the
I think it's
big.
called Toby's now, but I don't even have Toby's there now.
But anyhow, it doesn't matter. And it was, before this training was going to start, and we're drinking around. And he came from TCU, and he came and Paris and recruited him, and we're drinking and stuff. And he says, "Tommy, how many goals are you going to score this season?" Because they brought him because they wanted to get some offense on the team. I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If I score, I score. If I don't, I don't. As long as I contribute. And he said, "Oh, come on, man." I said, "Well, how many games we got? 17 or 15 or whatever, depending on how far you go." I said, "Okay, a goal game." I almost got there. I probably did because I missed 4 games because I got kicked in the shins and could squeeze it for about a month.
That's why you wear shin guards, right?
That wouldn't help. That wouldn't help.
Really?
Bringing back in shin guards on that front. That's
That wouldn't
fun.
help.
That's brilliant.
But anyhow, then we lost in the championship, the national championship. We got our butts kicked. But the whole tournament was hosted at Midwestern. The whole tournament was beautiful weather. Then after actually starting the semifinal game, it started raining. Then it rained for like 2 or 3, and our field was like 3 inches of mud. And we were more of a possession type team, and the other team was just kick and run and
Tiki-taka?
Well, not that. Tiki-taka can be pretty boring sometimes, to me.
You ever thought about coaching?
Different styles.
He has coached.
I coach.
Pull it up.
Yeah, but a lot of times I don't want to. Well, now they require.
Coach Fazekas and the young stud. Assistant Coach Fazekas here.
What do you think?
Some
what do you
ballers.
think- Let's put a little heat on the table right now. What do you think about the coaches from these young
Dipping around
coming
again.
up coaches? This gentleman over here on the table. What do you think about their coaching style and how they're I know that they're just starting, but what do you think about how they're handling things?
Oh, they're incredible.
Any advice you want to give them?
Don't hold back. No, hold him back.
No,
He's your
no,
favorite
it's
son,
not
so
soccer.
let's
It's-
talk about it.
It's the total soccer these days, especially in America. I don't know. you know, when they're warming up for the game and stuff, you know, they're in a little 20-yard box, you know, going for about 15, 20 minutes, playing keep away for, you know. Well, the field's a whole lot bigger than that, okay? Yeah. You know, everybody does. I know that's good for ticky-tacky, but you're pushing the ball, but you're not going anywhere. Everybody's staying still. That's what ticky-tacky. They're touching it 10 times, but they moved about 15 yards, and they're going backwards, okay? The goal's over there. Yeah. You know, I like using the whole field when I coach, right? And it's situational stuff, you know. It's just things that you got to work on.
And your brother coaches for Mansfield, right?
Yeah, my brother's in Mansfield.
Oh, I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's my brother. He's been coaching for since 1985, high school. He's got, I don't know, he won't tell me. He's got over 400 wins.
Oh, wow.
He's got
a playoff streak, too, right? Or he did.
Well, he did. Well, there's cycles. There's cycles with the, he's in Mansfield now. Before, when he first started in Mansfield in 2000, I think it was.
Was he your coach?
No, we played against him. I played against my own uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was Noah's coach.
Did he beat you at the time? Or?
Oh, yeah, we were horrible. Timberview was shit.
We were in this school.
We had bad coaching staff.
Funny. Yeah, we were only open for like 2 years before we played Mansfield.
No, you're gonna have, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Then they start. Now Mansfield has 6 high schools, I believe. Yeah. You know, they used to only have 2, then 3, then 4. The talent spreads out more. So then there's
it's all about property taxes. Yeah. All about property.
But no, he's had some pretty damn good teams. As a matter of fact, the last 2 years of Noah's, they should have, they choked. And sometimes, you know, I blame it. Sometimes you blame it on the coaches. Like every time Midwestern choked, I blamed it on the coach because I think it was actually the coach.
How much?
But his was the players. He had some prima donnas. The Mansfield and money. They had some prima donnas.
Speed.
So okay. What percentage of the?
I don't really care.
What percentage of the team chemistry? Of the winning percentage? Do you blame it on the talent of the players or the coaching? So what do you like? Win percentage.
50-50, I'd say.
So you think a bad coach with talented players can be a winner, or would you rather have bad players with a good coach?
I don't think you'd like either. I don't think you want bad players or a bad coach ever.
Well, I think
what about a bad director?
Here's how
okay. The fucking cheek.
Here's how I think. Okay. Especially if you're coaching a high school, you don't get a selection of players. Whatever is there is there. Okay. All right. I remember I got interviewed to coach high schools in Wisconsin and stuff, and they always, what kind of style are you going to play? I says, well, I don't know. What kind of players do I got? You can't determine a style, or you can, but you got to have the players to play the European style or the Brazilian tiki-taka. You got to have the players to do that. Look at India. What's his name? What's the little guy's name?
Iniesta?
Barcelona.
Messi?
Yeah, Messi.
The GOAT?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's not doing so great the last few years. Why?
Because of coaching.
No. He's missing Iniesta. He's missing Hernandez. Xavi.
He's still having better seasons than.
Okay. He's not.
99%.
Why couldn't he do that with Argentina?
He just won Ballon d'Or.
But anyhow, I'm just saying. They ask you what style you're going to play. Well, I don't get it. If I pick and choose my players, I can, develop those players to play my style. But the kids that are, you're only going to give them for a couple of years and stuff. You got to do the best. You got to do what you have, right? And the same thing in college too, or even this guy's a killer tryout. Oh man, you see that guy? Or I'm here, but then you pick your 18 players. And maybe that chemistry is not working with those other 7 or 8 that are on that field. Even though so it's a gamble sometimes.
Yeah. I think
then if you keep them, around, I can tell that some of the teams you play with, you can tell they've been playing with each other
for a long time.
Harrington,
and it's all familiar. Okay, I know what kind of ball to play Benji. Okay, where I got, okay, I know what, you gotta know your team's traits, your players' traits, and then you gotta have roles on the team.
So
Here's a role, he was my stopper back in the day. Charlie, okay, I used to get my little soccer board, right? And here's the half line. I say, okay, this is our half, okay? We don't want anybody, this is our yard, all right? This is our yard, this half. We don't want anybody. We don't want
nobody
anybody
comes in our yard. Nobody
okay?
crosses the fence.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
That's it. Keep it over there.
So you better than anybody know that chemistry takes time to build. Right?
Oh yeah.
So towards the end of the season, all the guys that we had on the team on Urban FC, they started to develop that chemistry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think all that same, if you were coaching this team, would you take all that same group of guys into the NPSL, or would you seek out talent from colleges, right? Because you're gonna have better talent to go to the NPSL and do a complete regroup of the guys.
Okay, with the team I got, what he has with the player, a good nucleus. You got how many games you play? 10.
It depends how many.
How many games have you?
We
done?
played 8 in the Roja League this past.
8. Yeah, there was 8.
Correct.
8.
Yeah.
I think.
So
Okay, so I'm thinking, what's keeping me from advancing? What do I need on my team?
Yeah.
What do I need? All right, and that's what I'd be looking for first. I think you have the basic. I think you got a strong team.
I mean, we're real. We need another shot to get the truth out. What do you really think? What do you really think about the team?
I think they're really good. That last game you played the first half, and then I don't know what happened in the second half,
Yeah.
but there's something going on there, okay? And I don't know if you guys recorded that game. You gotta go back and when you record those games.
We can't even get the microphones going. You think we're gonna be able to record? Come on.
No, but anyhow, no. What happens is you gotta get more role players on the team.
Mhm.
Okay, you gotta get somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're out there. Can you develop that? And you probably Can you develop that? Yeah. And it's a matter about confidence and all that kind of stuff with your players. But after one season, you've seen some tremendous stuff with that team.
Yeah.
There's just missing. There's something in that last offensive third that is just missing. And sometimes it's just, hey, take the shot from 30 yards out.
Sometimes you just gotta take a shot.
Oh man, you know how many goals I scored from
That's the
30
thing.
plus yards?
Yeah.
Just take the gamble,
and
take
nobody,
the gamble.
and then not even going to just our team. It's hard to find somebody these days that just takes the rip. Everybody wants to dribble it in. I don't know if that's the generational thing. I don't know if it's the style of the play that's moved. But you don't see a lot
to be
of
fair,
risk takers.
There's a lot of analysis now. There's a lot of performance analysis of expected goals.
Look at the
And
mentality.
but they do those expected goals things,
Yeah.
and there's actually people's jobs of looking at expected goals and saying, look, if you're 35 yards up, don't take the shot. They don't want you to take a shot because your expected goals thing is not good. Whereas if you put it out wide and cut it back to
Okay.
some of the 18s, so
And
I think the
people pay
whole
attention to
analysis
that.
stuff's different and.
I mean, look at the back. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just kind of, I mean, it's a different type of game now, and I mean, it's developing through analysis like everything is really.
I mean, he just said it. You know, back in the day, no shin guards, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's different.
It was raw. Now
It was more play back then was more direct. It was more direct.
Yeah. No.
And now it is. Well, the thing about it is it all. Okay, I remember watching Midwestern play like in 2010, 2011, 2012. Oh my!
we were playing.
No, Noah.
Noah played Noah.
I'm like, God damn.
Those Midwestern and Midwestern's always had the best build-up team from the back and build up. Okay, but they always had troubles with the teams that were more direct. Okay, matter of fact, if you watched at the NCAA championships and Division II, the teams that won was more direct teams. They won the whole championship. Was just kicked that. I had these big 6'2", 6'3" guys up front, and we're gonna battle it that way. In Midwestern, I played against Incarnate Word and teams like that, and the coach wouldn't switch his style of play. He wouldn't switch his play because his wasn't working. So what happens is a good coach knows how to react to make a change somehow.
That was a big thing on Doug Elder, though. I mean, we played
No,
4-4.
you guys had awesome teams.
But we played 4-4-2,
Yeah.
and it was going to be 4-4-2 no matter what. And it was very direct. And when I came in, we were probably more direct than any team that we played, just because of the style of play. And we were fitter than everybody. Work hard, and that was kind of the whole model of Midwestern: work harder, be fitter, be stronger, be direct, and that kind of was how we were about. And I mean, some people didn't enjoy the style of play, and I know the whole game was kind of shifting to possession and having 3 in midfield, and we play against teams where there'd be 3 in midfield and they'd dominate us sometimes on the ball, but we wouldn't really change. But I think the whole culture of Midwestern was all about the hard work, the pressing, and all of that stuff. And even Meach tried to bring in more technical players, but we were still trying to play the Doug Elder way. And I mean, you can't really, even as much as some people didn't enjoy it. I mean, he got results, and however many wins he got. I mean, he won a lot of games from it. And I mean,
there's no reason, even when I was playing, there's no reason Midwestern shouldn't have a few
national championships.
National.
How do they recruit? Because I'm very impressed at the fact that, okay, I put myself on the kid's shoes, right? And I'm thinking I'm a baller, right? And I'm from Iowa, right? And I get a call from TCU, MSU, and SMU. I'm gonna go to SMU or TCU.
Yeah,
why? Because you got a city, you got girls, you got liquor. I'm gonna hit up Fort Worth in the weekend, bottle service, boom, boom, you know. But I'm thinking, MSU is taking on most of the talent, right? SMU as well, but MSU say they got straight fucking killers. So what are they doing? How are they recruiting?
So the whole NCAA is interesting, and honestly, I didn't know much about it until I went into coaching at D2. But every school's price is different, right? So SMU is $80,000 a year or so. MSU is so they have 9 scholarships at SMU. Right, for 80,000, and MSU has it for 15,000. Right, you could get an 80% scholarship to SMU and a 5% scholarship to MSU, and be paying the same amount of money. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's always down to money. If someone doesn't have the money to go to SMU, and they don't just give out full rides for nothing. I mean, it's so hard to get a full ride in.
So MSU is giving out more.
No, MSU's getting a lot less,
cheaper
but they
cheaper to go to
cheaper
school.
school.
So I went to I coached
SMU's
state
private.
school. So I went to Quincy. I coached at Quincy University, and it was 40,000 a year to go there. Right, and if we had a player that we liked, and Midwestern State liked them at the same time, it didn't really matter. At the end of the day, if I didn't give him, I could give him an 80%, 90% scholarship, and an MSU could just come in there and say, all right, we'll give you 20%, and bang, they'd take him off because it'd be cheaper to go there already. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of different things of culture.
That's why you don't see, like, University of Texas, you know, a lot of the big colleges that they don't have men's soccer team.
Because all their money is directed for basketball and football.
Well, what happens is they have to have the same amount of money for women and men. Okay, all right. That's why you see back in when the Title 11 or what they call that.
Yeah.
They have to have the same amount. Okay, so if you got a football team, that's going to take up a lot of scholarship. They might get, because like 60, 80 players on a football team.
Yeah.
Okay, they might get 40 scholarships, right? That's what 40 like in Midwestern, like 9 or 10 scholarships. Yeah. All right, but they got 30 players, right? I mean, Noah did the last 2 years he played there, he didn't get nobody. He didn't get shit.
But he was already playing.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong too.
From soccer, because what's his name? Doug had to use that money to bring people in.
That's the problem we have.
And Noah
right
wasn't going anywhere. I said Noah could have gone anywhere back in the day.
Shout out Rick Stouffer, the mayor. We need some help. We can't get a field because when we're trying to do a partnership with Irving High School, right? And we offer them. We offer them to donate money, donate equipment, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, if you do it for us, you got to do it for all 3 schools. So we're screwed. and we can't get a field. We can't. It's just.
And that's a big thing for Midwestern State as well, and SMU is. I mean, a big thing someone's going to look at when they're going around is your facilities. I mean, Midwestern State had new training fields, had a new stadium, really nice pitch. SMU's field's really nice. So I mean, that is kind of a big part of it. And if you can have, you know, a field, a facility, a locker room like Midwestern, I mean, it's something. It's a selling point for sure.
And plus boosters.
And SMU is a party school.
SMU?
I mean, yeah.
Well,
I mean, MSU's alright too. You know, when we were at the game, we had a couple of cuties. Hey, we're gonna go to the.
Well,
you know.
and also it comes down to the culture. It comes down to the culture as well. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. MSU, the soccer lads are where it's at. Everybody loves the soccer. I mean, they don't have a huge football team, you know, and the soccer team is always successful year after year after year. I mean, y'all get a packed house at every home game. Stang Park is just packed, so that comes along with it as well. I mean, I'd assume.
Midwestern was fun, and soccer was awesome. But anyhow, we lost in the national championship in '82. Then pretty much Dallas Tornado dissolved, and pretty much there was no outdoor soccer in the United States, except for a few leagues. The NASL went down to like 12 teams. It had like 24, 32 at one time.
Didn't Pele play in that league?
Yeah, New York Cosmo. But then, what happened? Oh, then they were bringing the ASL, American Soccer League, which was older. American Soccer League's been around since 1920-something.
Which is now the MLS, right?
Well, you can call it just about anything you want to. I don't.
Back then, yes, that was
UPSL.
Back then, that was the
bastards.
So back in the '80s, that was the professional league. I guess that's what he said.
Well, anyhow, so they're bringing the team to Dallas, and I tried out. There was like, I went to the open tryouts. We just had. They were bringing the team to Dallas, and they had like tryouts, and I started from open tryouts all the way to free agents and everything, and it was a German coach that was coaching the team who played for the Dallas Tornado. He used to play for Bayern Munich and all that kind of stuff back in the 70s.
Wow.
And he says he chose me out of over 2,000 something people.
Because you walked like a soccer player?
He said you walk like a soccer player. He played with Gerd. He played with Franz Beckenbauer. He played for Bayern Munich with Franz Beckenbauer and Gerd Mueller and some of the. I mean, I used to wear Gerd Mueller soccer shoes.
Can you show us what a soccer player's walk is?
I don't know.
It's the McGregor walk.
Can we create a demonstration, please?
When you know, you know. I mean,
but that was the.
So what's going on in that picture?
That
You just
picture
get
right
done
there.
scoring a goal, or
Yeah, I just finished scoring a goal.
It's like
what a cameraman, honestly though.
You're legit.
I wish we had a camera person like that.
Our person got let go.
See, I usually
She wasn't cutting it.
I don't know what the Sox were doing up. They used because back then I didn't know I did it, but people used to say, Tommy, why do you always the left leg was always down and the right one was always up? But we didn't
Never above the knees though.
Hell no.
You know they cut the socks nowadays.
Yeah, they cut them
I know,
down.
it don't make no sense either.
Well, let's do a shot to our ghost. No, not our ghost. Our guest. Let's do a shot to our guest. What's your shot?
There's one right here floating around.
Nah, you take it.
No, I can't.
Either which way, cheers.
I've got a shot later on. I've already
Ben will take
I've
it.
got another shot later on.
He's got to have a shot later on.
I've already go out of it. Like.
Well, somebody's got to take it. One of you two. Rock, paper, scissors. Cheers.
There we go. For the pod. For the pod.
Yeah, no. But so you've obviously seen soccer grow in the DFW area, but you've seen other areas and go. So how would you rate the DFW area, soccer-wise, to the rest of America, number one, and just how much has it grown in the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years?
It's just crazy right now. It's all about. I don't know. It's about development these days. It's about developing teams and clubs. It's more as developing players. Yeah. That's what it is about.
What do you think
it's
about
the money?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It is. I mean, I know guys that. they're coaching 4 or 5 teams and making, depending on what age group, from $10,000 to $12,000 a year per team. Making $70,000-$80,000.
Yeah.
How can a guy coach 5 teams? I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It's all about.
But that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I used to go
Good
to
job,
these
Rick.
practices or they bring my sons played for some of these guys.
Renato.
Yeah, but not just that, but he'd bring in these. The coach couldn't make it, so he'd pay this guy $100 an hour, $200 for 2-hour training session.
And all they did is
it was
scrimmage
like,
the whole
what the heck, man? Then Scott had to. The coach had to leave one time and couldn't get. Tommy, can you hold my practice? I said, hell yeah, because I used to go to the practice.
He used to be my coach.
Scott?
It was
For
totally,
AFC,
It
right?
was just totally.
Marshall played there.
It's just
Sorry.
totally.
I'm not
different. I mean, yeah, it was for free. You didn't give me $200, and they
I know,
loved
you
my.
played under
It's
Scott.
just
That's
that's
one of the
You want to keep
biggest.
every practice. You don't want people being bored doing
What
shit.
would be your solution? So if you have to pay to play club soccer, what would be the right solution?
Oh well, that's just the way it's evolved. I don't know what the solution is now, because I remember when I first came. I was the first year we moved back to Texas. I was in Wisconsin area. First year I moved back. I'm calling around on hey, about these clubs, and I'm asking them, what's $3,000? What does that pay for? $3,000 a year. And then the guy says, who are you? What's your name? I said, my name is Tommy Fazekas. And the guy goes, oh, Tommy Fazekas. And I said, yeah, well,
He knows the
I
song
knew the
from
guy who I was
Texans,
talking
yeah.
to. This is Scott Lowe. And so I said, well, why are you charging that much? What's that paid for? You still got to pay for uniforms and all that. It's paying for him to coach the team and to pay for the fields and all that kind of, which adds up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it was all about the money and stuff. So I finally decided, I'm watching these 2 teams and nobody was happy. And okay, I'll coach a couple teams, and people, coaches, players would want to be on my team, but they come up to me and say, because we were only charging like $1,200. I wasn't getting paid. It was just paid for the registration and the uniforms, and
Cyclones.
they didn't take you serious because it was only $1,200.
Yeah.
So you didn't get any bids for
So it's a
anything.
different-
Yeah.
So no, well, after I said that, because I had some awesome players coming to the tryouts and everything, and it's not about, because I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this voluntarily out of It's about the money. It's the mindset.
That's one of the.
It's
biggest
about the
things.
parents.
That's one of the biggest
You know what it's
problems.
about? It's about the parents' egos. Okay. Oh, my kid plays for FC Dallas.
We pay $6,000 a year,
Yeah,
so on
yeah.
and so forth.
It is. Or my kid's got a scholarship with FC Dallas.
My biggest thing, from coming from Europe to over here is just
I don't know how it works.
how all sports run. I think the problem with soccer is it fell into the trap of, because it was in America, it came under baseball, basketball, and you have all these travel teams for basketball, baseball, and it was how it was set up for all the money and all that in there. So soccer's just taken the same route, unfortunately. And I mean, back in England, I didn't pay a single penny to play. I might have paid $2 a week for the referee fee, and that was it. Like, no coaches, and we didn't have coaches that particularly were at a high level, but like you said, we had coaches that volunteered, and it was just a completely different model. And then if you were good and the better you are, the more you went up the pyramid, and you still didn't pay for anything. But here it just seems to be sometimes the better you are, the more you have to pay sometimes, and they charge more and more and more. And
All this, the video that we had of this little girl going around. One of my friends texts me and he's like, "Hey, can you give me the parents' number?" And I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "Well, one of my friends, he has a team like this and it's super competitive at a high competitive level. And if she wants to pay, depending how much her parents are willing to pay, we want to, have her get checked out." But I have, and I was like, no, obviously no. But these academies, in the DFW area, there's a force that's coming, and that's us. Because I'm telling you right now, we are building this academy, and it's going to be at a super affordable price.
Yeah, we're
I'm
for
talking
the
select
players.
teams,
We want to be
academy.
for the players.
Yeah, none of our coaches they have licenses, and they're tired of all these kids that don't have money and the talent goes away, right? They don't have anywhere to go. Well, it's not gonna be, I mean, I'm not plugging the academy, which I should, but all these teams, all these people that are charging $3,000, $5,000, it's gotta be nowhere near that. It's gonna be $700-800, and it's gonna be at the same level because we're not doing this for money, right?
Oh, I know.
Luckily, GameStop is ripping, so we're doing good.
I shouldn't say it's all about the money. It's all about the club and getting the prestige of that club, and the trophies. I know the dude that started, I can't.
Texans.
Dallas Texans. Hassan. Yeah, we played Nazari. We played together on the Dallas when I played professional, and.
But look, good for them, right? For finding a niche and finding something to be able to make money, right? Great, good for them.
At one time, it was the largest soccer club in the United States.
And that's what that's why I'm very proud to be part of Irving FC. I'm not trying to keep my job or whatever. I know you're gonna say it, but no, I mean, growing up, I was comfortable. My mom and dad gave us everything we needed, but we didn't have a bunch of money. And the teams I played on, we were very successful. GP Arsenal, we were the only team in Dallas Classic League that did not pay more than $2,000 or to be $2,000 per season or whatever. We were a cheap team, all Grand Prairie kids, majority Hispanic. I think I was the only white kid on the team. I mean, but we were fucking good. We were very good, and that's what these kids needs at Irving FC. I mean, I don't want to say we're doing them a favor, but they need an outlet. There's so much talent out there that can't afford it. So that's why
one day,
really proud to be part of this.
and this is what you got to aspire to. If I was to start an organization like this, is one day you want your kid that trained with you or came through your organization on the World Cup team.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You got to aspire ahead, okay? And so it's all about developing players. It's developing players or developing Irving FC. You got to make it can be both, right?
Yeah.
But you got to do it the right way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
greed. Now that I see how everything
nothing's
works.
wrong with money. Get what you deserve.
No,
But
there is something wrong with money whenever you get it from the wrong people, right?
100%.
When you're exploiting families that don't have money, right, but that have a talented kid, and the kid is crying because he wants to go play, and they're getting taking a second job just to pay for these ridiculous fees, right? Then that's when it becomes a problem, and we're here. We gotta change that. I'm telling you.
But that's also,
when my kids, when we first moved back to Texas, and Noah and Charlie, we had a tryout for these teams.
They flew us in.
They flew us in for tryouts.
They flew your boy in for a contract.
I
told the coach I needed number 13 or else I'm not playing.
I
got number 13.
They were still in Wisconsin. Yeah.
It's not a lie.
Wait, they were still in Wisconsin.
no wonder these kids are prima donnas now.
They were still in Wisconsin. I was here working, and we sold the house. But the tryouts are like in the end of July or whatever. Flew them in for the tryouts for these teams, right?
Baller.
But we're at the one big soccer complex, probably thousands of kids all over, 20-something fields and parents and everything. And I'm sitting behind the little lawn chair behind the goal, behind, and Noah was in the goal, right? And Noah's just, they're shooting practices. Noah was a year younger, a year and a half younger.
That's why he's so good.
And he's just
knocking.
he's doing everything. And all of a sudden here comes these two stealthy looking dudes, in their 20s, and they all of a sudden they stop and watch Noah, right? And man, we gotta talk to that kid, right? And then they, hey, you know who that kid is? I said, yeah, he's my son. I said, then they said, who trains him? And he says, I do. I said, you train them? They were goalkeeper coaches, and they were looking for. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, who's the best to train a goalie than a forward? Well, that scores on him, right? I train those, and he says, "Oh, we're starting these camps and all this kind of stuff." I said, "I train them. He don't need. Who are you?" I said, "Who are you?" You know, I said, "It doesn't matter who I am. I train him. That's why he's so good right there. Because they were there 15 minutes watching him, corner kicks, everything."
Do you think that club is?
Who's trained? No, I didn't pay a damn dime to anybody.
We just put him in the goal and we just ripped fucking soccer balls at him. He was the youngest. That's what he got.
He wanted to play, okay.
He wanted to play forward so bad.
He was only 5 years old, and the league started, you 6. No, you were 5.
I was 5.
And he was 5. Then Charlie played, you can see, then no, I got to play. Okay, you want to play your goalie. He was only a year and a half younger than everybody.
See, that's one of the biggest things I think for soccer in America, because it's becoming such this big club deal. Some kids are practicing in structured practices like 4, 5, 6 times a week sometimes, when they don't just go and play pick-up soccer at the park or go and have a kick around with their friends,
in the backyard,
because they're all doing these structured technical drills instead of learning from themselves. And sometimes learning from yourself, I mean, growing up in England, after school, or at school during lunchtime, we play hour and a half
just to have fun.
I mean, and now it's just all these structured practices, and sometimes you can have too much structure, I think. And,
exactly.
And then realistically, when it comes to a game, you can't work things out for yourself because it's all being put on a plate. And I think that's the
biggest. And another thing that I've seen when it comes to that is we used to have a goalkeeper coach. He wasn't worth a damn. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. Baby boy, you were not, worth the money that you charged the club. But I will see what he does with the practice with the other guy, with the kids and the other guys, and I'm like, you're not doing anything. What goalkeeper coach? What, you just throwing the damn ball at him? Actually do structure, do what you gotta do. And I don't know. I never liked it, but it's all structure.
Well, the thing about it is the goalkeeper
and money. They want to charge $200-300 for a session. Get the fuck out of here.
But the problem is,
if you're listen, that's how I made my money when I was playing professional.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a private instruction. I made more money than you, especially you're 20 something years, good looking kid, and the mamas. Got 7, 8 year olds, mamas, like 30 good looking mamas and stuff. They're asking you, right? They used to
take the mom and coach the kid.
Coaches,
hey, you might have a couple brothers back there.
They used to ask me, hey, can you give me instruction for my kids, right? And I said, well, I need one at a time. I need more, like 3 or 4 kids. We're having a 3 or 4 a group session, And they $50 an hour, so I got 4 kids, $200 an hour, and do it a couple hours. It was easy money, cash,
Yeah, no, for sure. The other thing about the money thing is, I wouldn't completely blame the clubs, because
no, I'm not blaming.
What we say for for us trying to find a training field, sometimes they're charging us $200-300 to train. So some of these clubs have no option but to charge us money, because there's nowhere for them to train without paying this stupid amount of money to train. So it comes down to the clubs are charging a lot of money, but sometimes the league fees and just the rental for fields is ridiculous for businessmen.
But you know why? You know why they're not charged? You know why they got to charge? Is because they're not smart enough and savvy enough to go get a sponsor, right? Because they don't want to be community based. Because look, we have 2 options, right? We got to feed people on the NPSL. We got to feed the players that come from out of town, right? We have 2 options. We can either pay ourselves, or we can go get a sponsor for the food, right? A lot of the teams just pay for the food. No, go get a sponsor. Get involved with the community. But you got to give people back. You got to go to those sponsors and show love back. Go get involved with those sponsors, right? If you're going to get sponsored by Cece's Pizza, take the fucking team to Cece's Pizza, right? Show that you care. They just want the pizza, the money, and all that's it. They don't know how to work in the relationships, right? But it's got to change. But then again, there's not a book that tells you how to do things and read and say, oh, this is how it's done. You got to trial and error, trial and error. That's how you get it.
The thing about it, as somebody mentions, 10 years from now, 10 years from now. Well, you know what? When I was 15, they were saying 10 years from now soccer's going to, and then when I was 25, it's soccer will always be in the United States the 5th sport.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Yeah, well, that's one reason. That's one reason, and because we got the women are the best at soccer, right?
Yeah.
Or have been. Until the men get the best at soccer in the United States, it's an elitism. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Type
Elitist.
Yeah.
thing. You know, United States, they still consider it a communist sport. They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. They do.
No, they do.
It's
yeah.
from Europe and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
You know that because a lot of the, I don't know why.
That's
I
what
think
I'm,
it's the greatest sport in the world. It's
Rave, what's going on?
You want to know what really pisses me
Yeah.
off?
Rants and raves.
Okay, they're always talking about United States national team, if they had the best athletes and all that kind of crap. You know, somebody like LeBron James, great well, fuck that, okay? Because soccer players are the greatest athletes. Okay?
Whoa!
I don't know anybody
It's a big statement.
6'8", 6'9" that can play soccer.
Vodka's kicking in.
Hakeem, no, it's not. Hakeem Olajuwon played soccer. He was in the Dallas Cup, from Lagos, Nigeria. He was a
We're gonna tag him.
Okay, but
Hakeem Olajuwon, is he a basketball player?
Yeah, and he played soccer. That's
What?
what I'm
He's
saying.
a
Yes.
goalie.
No way.
He was in the Dallas Cup in
Steve
1980.
Steve Nash
Steve
played
Nash played soccer.
Daddy,
but
pull
no,
up Hakeem
wait,
Olajuwon.
Listen,
Wait,
I don't have,
Hakeem and I'm
Olajuwon.
we're talking about basketball player. If you had more players like athleticism
Michael Phelps
as
played
LeBron. No, that's not it. Soccer players are the greatest athlete. Okay, what basketball player could have his foot up, 7 foot in the air doing a scissor kick?
None of them can run for fucking 90 minutes either. I'm sorry. They
The
can't.
greatest goal ever. The greatest goal ever, Cristiano Ronaldo against Juventus in Champions.
Oh my God.
Was that not? His foot was
There we
7
go.
foot. Over 7 foot. His foot. Okay. I don't know any basketball player can do that. Okay.
I mean,
Soccer players are the greatest athletes in the world. Always have been.
maybe
Always
Kobe.
will be.
Kobe.
Oh yeah. You speaking of soccer.
R.I.P.
Kobe
Bryant. Loves
says
soccer.
The reason he is great basketball player because he learned it from playing soccer when he was in Germany.
Oh my God.
He does. He does.
No,
He's
that's
a,
true.
yeah.
True.
When,
Yeah.
when I was playing basketball growing up, everybody would say like, "Man, why is your footwork so good? What do you do?"
It's the most translatable.
I don't think anybody ever said
No,
that to you.
It's the most translatable sport. Honestly, the way it's played and the zone defense, so on and so
Some
forth.
of the things
It's the most translatable sport to
Basketball
read.
and soccer.
Yes, defensively and so on and so forth. My best friend, one of my best friends, he's a spectacular basketball
What's his
player.
name?
Nick Gibson. He doesn't have Twitter, but I'll shout you out on Facebook. Stupendous basketball player. Ryan Bruce, his cousin, even better, played college basketball. I mean, and they'll both tell you defensively. He played indoor with me once. He never played soccer a day in his life. He said, He really got it defensively because you don't watch the player, you watch the ball. It's so on and so forth. It's very translatable the way they play. Obviously, there's 5 players, 11 players, so on and so forth. It's very different.
Well,
But the way you play it is very similar.
it's all the same thing. It's all relative. It's all
Yeah.
it's just 2 words. Create space.
Yeah.
Create space for somebody to do something. Create space for somebody else to go into. You're creating space for me to go into with the ball. All sports, pretty much. Even football, American football.
Hockey's the same.
Yeah.
It's all about
Create space. 2 words. You learn that. Phenomenal.
And Kobe did say it. He was a huge AC
But
Milan
anyhow,
fan.
Okay, how LeBron James is what? 6'8", 6'9", 6'10"?
Maybe underground. Nah,
No,
edit that.
Okay,
Edit that. That's my boy.
I know, I love LeBron, but if I was 6'8", 6'9", I'd be a bad motherfucker too, like that on basketball.
You know, the owner of Urban FC actually knows LeBron James.
I know. I'm just
Personally.
saying. I'm just saying.
Personally.
What I'm saying is they think, well, if soccer players are athletes like LeBron James, bullshit. Soccer players are athletes.
Yeah.
They're greatest athletes in my opinion.
Yeah,
Some people say hockey players can do all that crazy shit.
Hockey players too. They got it.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
the fitness. They have the cardiovascular like soccer players. To cover the distance.
But
And
here's what I say. I can play at basketball. I used to beat the crap out of punks in basketball.
He used to play us when we were kids. We
No,
called it
not
Shaq.
just you. No, we're not playing, but I don't know any basketball players that can play soccer.
Lucas.
Luca play?
I specific from when I was probably 7, 8, or 9 years old. Watching him go to a football game, played football with his work friend, I think. Jumps in the air, catches the bat, and does a 360 in the fucking air. Like, it's burned in my brain. And I was like, oh my fucking God, my dad's fucking, he's going to play professional football. It was unbelievable. I remember that to this day. I'll always remember that memory.
And shout out to Giannis.
And it was in the
I mean,
snow,
shout out
too.
to Noah, second favorite kid. Let's do a shot, fellas.
Shot for what?
I would
For having what?
For 14 goals as a no player.
Pro from Irving, right? Aluminum. What do they call him? Aluminum.
He took
Aluminum.
Alumni.
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 Aluminium.
Okay, so cheers. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. We're gonna obviously, continue. We're not, kicking you out. I'm saying.
No.
We appreciate it. You dropped a lot of knowledge on the kids today, and the difference between back then and now. I think soccer is growing so much, and you paved the way. Honestly, guys like you paved the way for us to be where we're at, right? Because if that didn't happen then, this wouldn't happen today. Team of the podcast.
It's obviously got to go to.
We got good flush. If I throw up, hey, we're calling Maria to clean up.
Team of the podcast. It's obviously got to go to Midwestern State, right?
Absolutely, Midwestern.
I agree, Midwestern State.
MSU, we all agree. Team of the podcast.
Team of the podcast.
We
Right
have
now,
2 aluminums.
alumni.
We have 2 alumni.
We had 2 alumni.
Yeah, team of the podcast.
They're playing SMU tonight, actually.
How many MSU boys have we had play for the team? 6, 7?
Quite a
No,
bit.
we
I mean,
gotta say 5.
no, because Noah was an alumni.
Or alumni. Bacchus.
Noah was an alumni. Kyle Backus was an alumni. Quinty was an alumni.
Yeah.
The tall guy.
Yeah.
Scott Doney, who plays with the sidekicks, was an alumni. So MSU for the Irving FC.
All right, guys. So player of the podcast. Player of the podcast. What are we doing?
Who do you think?
Yeah, who my pick is Kyle Vasquez. Kyle Vasquez, that's my boy. He's a stud. I mean, he was in Vegas last week partying.
This week. He's there right now.
He's there right now. That's my boy. So
Kyle Vasquez.
I have a question though. So, Carl Bacchus, he had what? How many chances against Fort Worth to put us into the playoffs? How many has he missed?
He's definitely bottled some chances.
He's missed some big chances.
He's bottled some chances.
You know what impressed me the most? Whenever we were doing the tryouts, this guy took like 4 kids. I understand that they don't know how to play soccer that well. The guys that were trying out,
so all the kids that didn't make the team, he took them on?
Oh my God, he destroyed them. He was laughing at them.
It was good. It was like being like a 1982 sort of team scoring.
Yeah. So, all right, my vote was Kyle Vasquez. What about y'all?
Me? So it has to be. So what are the parameters? Anybody or
anybody? Yeah.
Parameters. What are we fucking?
Parameters.
Anybody.
Carol Baskins.
I don't know about Carol Baskins, but
this isn't a restaurant menu where we come back to you whenever you're ready. Okay, we've been talking about this.
I'll go ahead. I'll take.
Yeah,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Not because he lives in Calabasas. I'm gonna take Kyle Backus.
Kyle Backus.
Just because one, he's given for the past 2 years. Yeah, he's bottled some chances, some very big chances. Could have sent us to playoffs, but he bottled it big time.
Is he listening to this?
He might be, probably not, but hopefully we'll get him on next week. He gives it all he's got. Every game, he's about it. He tries to teach other kids that are coming in, look, you're playing for more than just the win. I think he's passionate. He wants to win. He gives us all he's got when he comes in. So he's an MSU alum. He scored a big header at MSU and then ran the wrong way to celebrate with the fans. But Kyle Backus, he gives it all he's got. So I can't take that away from him. So I'll give him player of the podcast as well.
The Hungarian beast. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll jump on the bandwagon on that front, and I think with Carl Bacchus, I mean, you could say what we could say. I think that what was it, the summer league when he played, he was a lot better, I think, for us. I think he was a big leader for us. The younger players looked up to him. He set a good example with his work rate, and the owner always used to come up and say, "Man, that kid gave everything."
That Calabasas kid.
That is something for sure. He's been going through injuries a lot, and I know his knees long gone now, and he pretty much played on one leg during the Christmas break. So we'd like to give him a lot of shit, of course, and didn't score any goals. Don't even know if he had an assist, honestly. Wasn't very productive. Had to go on holiday halfway through the season.
But
as
he
well,
played out of position too.
Yeah, he played out of position.
What about the
Hungarian-
Hungarian Whitebird?
Hungarian.
Hungarian Whitebird. What do you like?
Hungarian.
Who do you like?
What's that?
Player of the podcast.
I'm assuming it has
Well,
to
no,
be
Benji,
MSU.
you know, scoring goals or assisting.
It could
is-
be anybody.
is-
Even your
no,
buddy from the 60s.
no.
He knows. He's
Well,
talking.
What do you say?
From the
Who's
60s.
my favorite player? My
Yeah,
favorite
player of the
Player of the
Yes, you
podcast.
give-
Your favorite player. All around.
My favorite player
From
all around?
Texas. Has to be from Texas.
Oh, from Texas.
But you can continue your thought that you were interrupted
My
by.
bad.
Interrupting is
From
This
Texas.
is getting bad, yeah.
No, probably my favorite player from Texas. It's probably Albert Rodriguez. He was freaking out. He was awesome. Because
Alberto.
the thing about it is, it's just be you.
We could
man.
get him on the pod, honestly.
No, Albert was a man. Well, he was a man above.
Is he still
boys.
alive?
He was,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he was 27.
Yeah, he's
He
only
was,
like 30.
he was 27, 28 years old playing college soccer. Okay,
Yeah,
he was,
he was.
and he showed it. He used to do some stuff. Favorite Texas player, besides myself, would be him. Yeah.
You can claim yourself if you want.
No, I was the shit back in the 80s.
Here we go.
You know, I mean, and
so
like I said, it's the Fazekas thing.
How many
you know?
No,
bicycle kicks have you scored? Like, how many bikes?
No, what's that?
How many bikes have you scored?
You ever scored a bicycle kick?
Three times.
I'll get-
Oh my God.
I have.
Yeah.
We need a
Not-
bike.
not-
No stats, it didn't happen.
No.
We need
it
a
was-
bicycle kick competition.
No,
Yeah.
We need to set it
I've
up.
got it. You've
Set
seen
up.
it firsthand at training. Your boy,
And it was all
2 months out
it
of
was
knee
all
surgery, to go
just-
for the
It
bike.
wasn't planned, just like when
Instinctual.
Ronaldo, the greatest athlete, soccer player, Ronaldo's foot was 7
Messy.
plus in the air.
Yeah,
It wasn't planned. It's all just happens.
Sure.
Ad-lib.
So I think we got 1, 2, 3. What about you?
I would say Adam. If we're
Adam
gonna go-
Conway?
Yeah, Adam. He's.
Adam Conway out
The
of
one that you
Midwestern.
lied about. The one that you lied about.
How did
So okay, for you guys that are listening, let me give you 10 seconds.
He
of
didn't
the
lie
truth.
about it. He was just mistaken.
Okay, so
No,
this
he
guy
lied about
Adam,
it.
Yeah,
I think that this guy Adam is a true stud. Obviously, he goes up and down the field like he's a fucking animal. But whenever they told me
Who's
about
Adam?
Adam
hey,
Conway at
we
Midwestern
want
from
this guy
Ireland.
Adam come in, blah blah
What
blah.
number? He played on your team.
They
too?
told me that he was an
in
All-American.
the summer season.
They told me that he was an All-American, and now they're saying that he was a what? All district,
All region.
all region.
That dude
nobody,
that was
nobody
in-
ever said he was all.
the
This
play-
director, you
that
know,
played in the
is
summertime?
talking all that
Yeah.
The
shit.
dude in the back, the tall guy.
No, that was
he was
Rory.
the best player.
That's
on the
Rory
team.
O'Keefe.
Yeah, he's the best.
Was it him though? Because he didn't play much in the.
I thought he was the best.
Which
player.
one?
He didn't
That's
play
the
much.
only tall
Rory
white guy.
O'Keefe.
Too
Tall
white,
white
too
guy?
white guy, too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's Rory.
The one you guys played in that summer tournament. that-
Yeah, yeah.
Tournament, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a little.
Adam was in the tournament. But
He
he
was a
played in the
midfielder.
midfield.
Yeah, he was a little midfielder.
So it's 3-2. So
What
a
number?
shot to
I don't remember.
player of the
3-2.
podcast,
3-2.
Kyle Baskis.
Kyle Backus.
Carol Baskins.
Is that the
Kyle Baskins.
Player of the podcast.
Cheers to Kyle Backus. We're going to take a
Kyle
shot for
I
you.
don't know why Ben's not drinking. I think his wife must be watching the
I've got
podcast.
a long way.
And she
I've
must
got a
have
long way
told him,
home.
hey, no more drinking.
I've got a 2-hour drive.
Yeah,
I ain't
You don't want to
drinking
drink no more.
Need another one.
All right, let's
He's
go
got
back
back
to
there.
one for
Glass.
the bet. This will be
We'll do another one for the bet.
shot.
But this
Oh,
one's
yeah,
to
this
Kyle
is-
Backus, player of the
This
podcast.
is- Okay. Kyle back. So we're gonna take another shot for the
Yeah,
team.
Oh,
100%.
No, this will be a double. Goddamn, this is.
You're the one who bought the shot glasses, mate.
It's all right. So,
These are the Gallos
Hey,
shot
listen,
glasses.
I'm getting really drunk. This rave section is gonna be lit.
So, Kyle
I thought we already
Backus.
did that.
Well,
Yeah,
we're gonna continue it. We're gonna
Okay,
continue it.
continue.
We've already unloaded the first
Let's
hour,
do
so.
half shot because this guy's
Well, we had to do rants and raves.
Look,
Kyle Backus,
Sorry,
let's have you on next week.
Kyle
These shots are huge.
Let's go with
Well,
it.
I don't know. You gave it
Cheers.
to me. I don't know where I'm. Is there a line I got to put it at or what?
Crackus.
Cheers.
Kyle
I
Backus.
saw the line
Backus.
right here.
Callback.
Calabasas.
Our ghost guest doesn't like being on camera. He's camera shy.
We got
The
player of the podcast was Kyle Backus.
Yep.
Team of the podcast, MSU,
Was
right?
Bat-
We
was
got
Bat-
one
Bat
for interviewer
podcast.
today. Real quick before, okay, so it's event of the week.
Oh wow.
So
Jesus, fucker.
this is gonna make a lot of people cry. A lot of people, are hurt.
Man, you losing to Sheffield United.
Chelsea.
Chelsea firing their coach.
They're
Unreal.
legend. They're legend.
Club legend. Lamps.
Club legend.
Unreal.
That's the event of the week.
Unreal.
Honestly.
I mean, I don't know that, and obviously Man United.
United losing to Sheffield's big.
Sheffield United
but-
won one game all year, and then they lose to.
Well, in my opinion, with that is he shouldn't have been hired in the first place.
Oh!
There we go.
You know what?
He's got to do something.
Throw a
He did.
curveball.
Work his way up.
He did. He won with Derby County.
He didn't win shit with Derby
No,
County.
he didn't.
He won enough.
No, nothing
He won
wrong with
enough.
it. He tried.
He
But
didn't
it's
get
a
him up.
modern, like you say, the modern game. It is.
Yeah.
You got players that don't perform when they're paying $100 million, whatever. Look at Hazard, Eden Hazard, at
Real Madrid.
or what's his name, Gareth Bale, a top man. He's sitting on it. He came in at 10 minutes left with the game. He's making $100 million transfer fees. These guys it's the players. They're prima donnas. So
It's the players, not the coaches.
no, it's not.
Yeah, that
And,
level
well, that's the bottom line.
I think
That's the bottom line.
I think the biggest thing for
That
Lampard.
gives it where is he make? I'm sorry.
No.
Is he making the decisions on the players they're picking up?
Yeah, but I mean, at the
A
end
lot
of
of
the day,
times.
A lot is executive, yeah.
you have to
No,
have you have to have accountability and responsibility though as a
Yeah.
manager to get these players in the right mindset. But the biggest thing is that, I mean, you spend a lot of money on a lot of players, which doesn't buy you a lot of time. But in this day and age, they're just not many owners are willing to look for a whole sort of the process. I mean,
They
at the
just
end of
want
day,
the wins.
A team is not just suddenly going to just be formed overnight. And if a new person comes in, they've got new methods, new ways of being. Players have to understand what they want and creating that relationship. And I think that's just the biggest thing that I would have given them in the end of the season. And if they're still in the same position by the end of the season, then I think it would be fair. But I think you've at least got to give somebody a season with what they've got to really see what they're
It's
about.
called building a team.
We have
No,
a
we
live
don't.
question.
No,
we
have
don't.
a
Give them
live
enough time.
question from
No, we don't.
Facebook.
We're gonna keep going on this real quick.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Oh, here we go.
As a Chelsea fan, and
Okay.
Passionate rant.
I'm Frank Lampard's a club legend. He's done everything. He lives and breathes Chelsea. Like Ben said, he spent a lot of money. He came into a dumpster fire team at the moment. Hazard was gone.
Fire, no.
Yes, last season.
Oh my God.
Listen to me. When he came in, they're arguably the best player in the Premier League was leaving for Real Madrid. Arguably, he was coming into a transfer ban. They couldn't do any new
didn't have to.
signings,
But
He
even
didn't have
after,
to.
like, they bought, like, that's
and they had an absolute
Where did-
shit defense.
Where did they finish? before
Top four.
he came in? Exactly.
Oh.
So they were top 4 before he came in.
But coming
They were
in,
top four
yeah, but still, he brought in brand new players from the youth academy, and he finished top 4. Yes, you spent a lot of money this season, but you spent it on players that need to develop to the English game. I'm sorry, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, they're used to the Bundesliga, and yes,
Oh, you weren't? Yeah.
it's a completely different. It's
when they first
100%.
signed him. Oh, he's gonna be up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Guess
Sounds
what?
like
It's
you're
a different
defending.
game.
Sounds
It's
like
a
you're
different.
defending.
No,
Guess
it's a
what?
different game. I am defending him 100%. The way they treated Lampard is
Here-
unreal.
here-
He's
here-
a club legend. It takes time. You at least give him the full
This
season.
is my question. Did Lampard buy those players, or was it somebody
Hey.
else? Because I don't know Chelsea's setup.
I think it's a
is
mix of the two.
2,000 years later.
Because
Yeah,
if Lampard bought that players, then that's it. He needs
Hey.
to adapt and find.
But
those
you
players
got
that
to
will
give
do
him
it.
the full
Whatever,
season,
Roman-
don't you? I mean, you said it yourself.
No, I
give him
do.
the full
That's what I'm
season.
saying, but I
Okay.
don't think
And
you
the way
use
they
it-
treated
I
him,
don't think you give it. An
I don't
excuse.
call. I don't know.
Maybe not excuse, but
Here-
like these players, I don't think they're going to adapt in this season. I think
No, they won't. No, they won't.
I think he.
I think they can. I think
You
they
boy
can.
deserve to get fired.
I think they can learn the game
I don't
more.
fired.
Here's my. You want my here? Old man?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come on.
Um.
Because old Gunnar Solskjaer took
No,
3 fucking
it's
seasons.
not him.
So did Klopp.
Yeah,
it's him.
exactly.
No, he needed more time
Yeah.
to develop his.
His team. His
Exactly.
philosophy.
Oh my God!
It's the truth.
Please.
You need more time.
Actual legit question. Okay.
I like it.
This is coming in
Hot
from
off the press.
Oscar Perez 7075.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
who that is. I don't know
Get
who
the-
that is.
I know an Oscar Perez.
Okay, so it says, what's the plan? This is directed to 2 of the Urban FC coaches. Okay?
Out of the
The
blue.
2 Urban
Is
FC
that
coaches.
the blue, Oscar Perez?
I mean, I know I'm throwing
weird.
off right now off the subject.
Okay, come on.
But,
No, I like the
but this
questions.
is
We like
this
the
is a
questions.
legit question.
Yeah,
This is a legit
Come on, Sheik.
Okay,
Go
so
Sky.
it says, it reads, what's the plan switching levels to play from UPSL 1 and Roja League to NPSL when our last seasons haven't been successful here? But now we go to compete at a completely higher level.
I think we've already. I mean, like you said.
I'm just reading the question.
Yeah. No, the
I'm just
last two seasons that we've had in the games, we've not done to the best of our ability, and we really have looked at that and looked at reasons why we think we didn't do well. I think one of them was experience. I think our experience wasn't quite. We had a lot of freshmen, sophomores in college that maybe hadn't played college games, and I think that was definitely a big piece. So we're looking to bring more experience in, but at the end of the day, the NPSL isn't as a big of a jump as everyone thinks between that Roja League. The Roja League is very, very similar to what the NPSL is. So we've seen that standard. We know what the standard is to get to, and I think we just got to build on that with a bit more experience and knowledge and learn from the mistakes that we made in the last two seasons, and we just always got to reflect on what we think we can do. I don't want to bring up every sort of plan of what we're going to do and tell everybody, but I think we've really looked at our mistakes and where we went wrong, and team connection, chemistry, all of that sort of stuff, and hopefully.
You don't think there's a big difference between the Roja League and the NPSL?
No, let's
not talent.
Let's
not
finish off the
talent-wise,
question
I'm saying
first. I'd like to add on to what Ben was saying. I don't think it was a complete failure in the sense. I mean, we've learned a lot. You got to remember, this is Irving FC's first season. Hold on.
These are your fans. I swear to God, I'm reading what's it called? A question that he legit asked, and these are your fans. This is what you're.
Let me answer him. Let me answer my fans.
Let him answer.
And let me answer my fans.
wondering.
I know it's my fans. I'm telling my fans.
Explain to you.
Director, would you let him answer?
You're over here interrupting.
Okay, let's see it.
I don't want to say it was a complete failure. We learned a lot. This is the first season as a whole, as the entire staff that we have. We had the Roja League Summer and the Invierno. That's 2 seasons, and we learned a lot. We came a long way from the very first season. We had more games. Yes, we finished second at the bottom 2 seasons in a row, but you can't tell me that the Invierno League wasn't a little bit better. It is a learning process, and we're learning the players we want to bring. We're learning the way we want to play, the style we want to play. It's a process, and for me, ownership is sticking by us, which I appreciate. But that's also the thing. I think it's a process, and it's the experience you have to learn. So we're getting there, and like he said, the NPSL and the Roja League isn't much different. The Roja League had 1 UPSL team in there, 2 tops, but those 2 UPSL teams could easily play at the level as the NPSL. In my personal opinion, I mean, anybody else can feel free to chime in. Well, yeah, but you also call Harrington a team of friends that get together, but they made it to the championship. So who knows?
No,
but that being said, this upcoming season we plan on bringing more players in that we feel fit the culture. So hopefully we can build on what we've learned, and we can better ourselves from there. That's all we can do.
I was just reading a question from the fan. Honestly,
yeah, I know.
He
to the
sent
fan,
that,
Oscar Perez.
He sent that. as a fan, let's whether we like it or not, these fans, they're wondering, right? They want to know what's happening with the team because they're the ones that are actually watching the podcast. They're the ones that are going to the games. They're the ones that are following and buying the merchandise.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So they want to know what's happening with the club, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a legit question.
Yeah,
so
I know.
They want to know, like,
I answered it legitly.
That
was to the fan.
What about you? Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Coaches,
all I'm adding really is that I think at the end of the day, we're trying to make our team as best as it possibly can be, and always try. It doesn't matter where we finish each year. We're going to look back on it and reassess, and we're going to always make mistakes. But as long as we keep looking at ourselves and not thinking we're the shit every time, even if we win or whatever it is, we just got to keep improving, I think. And like you say on the talent level and stuff, you never really know what the talent level. Every division in NPSL can be a completely different talent level. I mean, the Texas division could be really strong, but the one up north could be, I mean, like the UPSL. You never really know what the talent levels are going to be, so you can't really focus on everybody else and look at everyone else's talent level. You just got to get together with your coaching staff, your ownership, and figure out how can you be the best possible version of yourselves this time and go for the best, I think. And that's the route we've got to go down, and I think we've started pretty well, and we've gained a lot of interest from a lot of new players that we've been speaking to, and we're trying to address that right now, really, and bring in like Janos says, the right culture to the team, as well as the talent. I think.
What about our sporting director?
Yeah,
what do you have to say?
What do you have to say to that question? Would you like me to reread it?
Yeah, reread it.
Okay, I'll reread it.
Since it's from a fan.
What's the plan switching level of play from UPSL 1 and Roja League to NPSL? When our last seasons haven't been successful here, but now we go to a complete higher level of play.
I mean, there's definitely room for improvement. We're always looking to improve, and one of the major things is just finding the right players. I mean, Mr. Fazekas said it before. We have a good team, but we just might not have, like Ben was saying, might not have the experience. It's just identifying the right mentality.
Have you identified that as a director?
Yeah. Well.
Say it again.
Have you identified the flaws of the team as a director?
Yeah, we
So
at
what are
the
the
end.
flaws?
Hold on, give me a second. At the end of the season, we look back, and as a team, as a collective team, we look back and say, okay, what went wrong? What did we do wrong? What were we missing, and stuff like that. And we identified, okay, we're missing experience. We're missing maybe a little bit better chemistry amongst the players, and so we have to figure out a way to build a team in a short amount of time to have good team chemistry and also have good experience among the team. So it's just a learning curve, and you just got to understand, okay, what I did wrong, how can we improve it, and then how do we execute it. And I think we've already started reaching out to coaches and players from various colleges and leagues and understanding, okay, hey, is this a player that we want to bring to the team? And if it is, okay, let's keep going and understand, okay, does their mentality, does their focus, are they focused, do they have the right mentality to be able to fit our culture? And so it's just a culture we have to figure out, and that's what we're doing, and I think we're on the right track. We just gotta see it come together. The only issue is just the results on the field. That's the only thing we haven't gotten down yet.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we get stopped for a second? Because I want my son to hear this.
Yeah.
We can matter. But anyhow.
No, this is good.
No, what you're missing. The higher you go, the more keyword discipline.
Yep.
Yeah.
More discipline, more seriousness of where you're going. Right?
Absolutely.
You want to get to the top, you got to be more serious about it. More planned, more calculated. Discipline is the key word.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we can be right here. Oh, dickhead ain't showing up. He's got a date at it's anniversary. It's 1 month anniversary of his girlfriend. We're going to the Reunion Tower, right? Fuck soccer. Okay. No. You wanna reach the peak. It's all about discipline.
Yeah, not
Not just football.
Yeah.
Or in soccer, right?
Your entire
Football,
life, yeah.
It's discipline.
We had Anthony Allen. That's what we're talking
you
about.
You got and some people lack discipline, right?
Yeah. We had a financial hiccup, right?
What?
It was bad for us for a while.
You always.
But at the end of the day, we were here, right? Mentally, everybody was, hey, whatever happens, we're with the team. No matter what, we're with the team, right? And it's all mental, right? You just got to keep pushing. You got to do your best. You got to keep performing. And yeah, I mean, I truly believe that the only thing we're missing, we're not missing it because it's there. It's experience, right? And it comes all the way from the top. Ownership, coaches, all of us, even camera guy, right? I mean, fucking up with the microphones and shit, you know? But at the end of the day, that's all we're missing, experience. But we're a force to be reckoned with. We really are. And they're not going to like it. Give us 1 or 2 years. Even those, like what we're saying about the academy, those academy guys running their fucking empires, we're going to come and shake that up. Because we're going to give a platform where these parents are going to be able to come and pay only $600-700 for a good atmosphere, and they don't have to go spend $3,000 to $5,000. Man of the week, I'm sorry. They're going to stop.
We had Liverpool visiting Tottenham.
Hey. You got your tongue, you might get a little hard.
We're lit.
All right, Liverpool.
Anyway, back to bet of the week.
Liverpool visiting
Holy shit.
Tottenham. And
sucks, man.
I know, that's why I took Liverpool.
you only took Liverpool because we forced you to take Liverpool.
No, I watched them play the other day.
So Nicky lost. Nicky, he was here.
Hey, so I can run through this. So
Let's go through the ghost guest.
Nicky went for Spurs, he lost. Ghost guest number 2
He
took the draw. Ghost guest number 1 took Spurs, he lost.
Oh, let me tell him too. Hold on.
Janos took Spurs, so big loss there. And then me and Gilbert took Liverpool.
Oh, fuck off,
So,
mate.
I mean, we took
No,
victory.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling out the gaffer. He fucking took. He fucking.
The wall doesn't lie.
He took the draw. It's crossed out.
The wall doesn't lie.
How in the
He
hell?
took the draw. He takes a
How
shot.
in the hell
We
did
got security camera.
And I reached out to the second ghost guest, and they're sending a video of them taking shots. So we'll go ahead and edit and put them up.
El Gallinero. Cheers for Tottenham letting me down once again.
Who was taking a shot?
I'm taking a shot.
That's all I know.
I need an empty shot glass.
Hey, and the Hungarian thug's gonna take a shot with it just cuz. Just cuz.
You want fireball
The
or?
Hungarian thug's taking a shot.
You don't want the Hungarian.
We got burgers. We got burgers grilling after this.
You're gonna pour your heavy shot.
I'm pulling you a full shot. There you go. You got to do it, man.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, he's lit. Someone's lit.
All right. I mean, I'll fill this up. I'll go half fireball,
Hey,
half.
for some reason, thinking Tottenham were good.
Honestly, I was going.
What do you mean for some reason? They got $1 billion stadium.
I'm not a fan of Tottenham.
Shout out to assistant coach Janos. He's about to have a kid. It could happen anytime. First kid.
My wife's gonna
And
kill me off.
you know, we were really hoping that it happened in the middle of the podcast, so we can.
Wait, there's
It'll be a good topic.
He left us one during labor.
Yeah. Either way.
It's supposed to be a secret. He already killed me.
Shout out to it.
Is that to be the Premier League?
Cheers.
She doesn't want anybody to
This is the
know.
Premier League, yeah.
Episode 8, El Gallinero.